peeps, my peeps. It's a sayer. I always get out of the tub. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. Get myself together here a little bit. I didn't really have a... Let me just take a sec here and see if I... Nope. Blank. Quite a blank this morning. Oh dear, that must look pretentious. Let's just see what we get. Maybe the blankness is somehow figures in. I mean, I suppose sometimes we go sort of blank. I'm hearing, I think it was Leonard Cohen, says that's how the light gets in. You know, we're all broken, that's how the light gets in. It's kind of that wounded warrior thing, you know, where you're both the wounded one and the healer at the same time. Because I think we're all healers. We better be. You know, able to heal ourselves. Maybe still kind of the walking wounded, but, you know, everybody's been wounded. That I believe. I was saying to, I think it was my brother the other day, excusing somebody's behavior because they were wounded, and he's just like, nah, I'm not having it. So sometimes I question, am I letting myself off the hook when I say somebody else's bad behavior isn't bad? What do we have? Six of Cups. You know, it's ordinarily a soulmate card, and you have that, the child and his dog, and the grown man and his dog. And the cups growing in size over time. It reminds me of the other day, I was going to say something about this. You know, I see myself on video, and I do the hair, and I, you know, my brother once said that, I think he was in his 50s, even maybe his early 60s, that he couldn't look in the mirror when he shaved. And I thought, that's so sad. You know, love your own face. And now I look at the videos, I look in the mirror, and I don't feel like I can't look. I feel like I need to look. The man I was married to said at one point, we're going to love each other's old faces. That's the deal. And as it turns out, we weren't quite able to do that in a sustained way. I mean, there was a point when something shifted. But I think now more than ever, you know, as I age, it's important to be able to look at my own face, to love my face. And it's not easy always, you know, whether you're young or old, whatever it is, there are times when it's just painful to see yourself. And I think that's part of the healing. That's part of the healing of the self. The wound of not accepting yourself as being enough, or I'm not sure. This is a card of a soulmate energy. And in this, it's with the loyal dog. You're going to outlive this dog. I don't know what that means exactly. But it's love that gets bigger over time, both for the dog and the guy. It's an older guy depicted here. I mean, at least gray-haired. Well, it's loving your face, loving your old face. From boyhood to elder status. From puppyhood to loyal old friend. The guy's leaning on the dog, sort of for comfort. They love each other's old face. And maybe that's enough. Hierophant. Higher power. Which I think, wow, informs that kind of love. King of Pentacles. Stability over time. Another gray-haired individual who knows himself. He looks happy and content, and again with the dog. Something about, I think it's being willing to not only accept your old face, but kind of accept the mortality. My dad said once that he thought the biggest mistake the Creator made was to have us outlive our pets. That for him that was so painful. They had a lot of animals. Particularly, it was my mom who sort of was animal obsessed. But Dad did a lot of the caretaking of the animals. And he'd rather die than have the dog die. I mean, 4 of Cups. It's a card of sadness, of love lost. And again, it's not really lost. There's love in the world. There's love being offered. But there are times when we're so sad we don't see it or we don't care. 5 of Pentacles. A number of these came out. I did a reading this morning for myself. I mean, it's kind of the stages of grief. First, there's this sort of sadness over the love lost. And then there's this, it escalates into a feeling of abandonment. Perhaps in this relationship somehow. 5 of Pentacles, Hierophant is 5 in Major Arcana. So that seems to matter. Yeah, a lot of these cards are repeats. Here's the potential, the seed, the potential for something that could grow. And it may be something this character yearns for. Add that pentacle to the 5, you get 6 of Pentacles, which is a card of equal exchange or possibly piecemealing. It's not really bringing a person in from the cold. It's giving them enough, just enough. Do we have reason to mistrust this solid offer? Whee! Oof. Yeah, we do, I think. It's a crossroads. You know, the crows, the guides, are trying to disentangle her. She's stuck. She has a tattoo on her arm of the scales. 2 of Swords is a decision that needs to be made. And she's got an idea of, you know, the just decision. It's tattooed on her. She's at a crossroads in terms of what she believes. Sword energy. Let's get one more. What's the decision, please? Maybe do I trust this offer? Seven of Pentacles. I mean, this would be investment in growing something, in expending the energy to grow something. From this seed, you know, do I tend it? Do I allow it to take root? Do I encourage it to take root? It can be assessment, Seven of Pentacles, like he's looking at a fairly dinky plant. And I never noticed this before, but there's an energy in between his hand and the plant. There's like a little light, there's sort of a beam of light. He's nurturing the plant. But we have really, I mean, this Five of Pentacles falls under the soulmate card. It's a lot of sort of scrambled feelings, out in the cold. You know, a card of a need to make a decision. Can this grow? Ace of Pentacles to Seven of Pentacles. Is this viable? This seed? And then we have the same kind of contradictory energy. Soulmate, higher power, possibly even marriage, something at the higher level, something that the higher power kind of endorses. And the stability of the King of Pentacles. And then this card. You know, each kind of fairly positive spin has an equally, kind of equal and opposite, or at least a question mark. Why am I out in the cold? Why is the love not here? What's this out in the cold thing about? Who's out in the cold? Because King of Pentacles wouldn't leave somebody out in the cold. He's a caretaker. You know, he'd have the resources to help this person. Three of Pentacles. Well, it's kind of a card of helping. It's cooperative energy. You know, it's sort of the warp and the woof. You know, it's how you weave something. She's knitting. What looks a bit like a stop light. Kind of out of order. I don't know what that means. But there's the stop. There's the caution, the stop, and the green light. Again, we have the let's cooperate and build something, create something, and this card of being left out. Let's clarify the Two of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, the choice whether or not to invest. Like, what's going on here? Fool. Three of Cups. A new beginning. In sort of reunion, but it's in a friendship. It's the circle of friends who stand together, facing the future. I believe that's the Big Dipper up in the sky, which kind of indicates the North Star. But they're together. They're in a kind of embrace. Invest in friendship. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Fool goes on, Six of Cups. And I'm kind of disappointed because there's a new beginning with a soulmate. Through time, from childhood to old age. The love grows. On Four of Cups, Ten of Wands. This is the end this is the end. Somebody's moving on. They're taking with them just what they need. It shows a woman on a path, you know, moving, basically. You know, she's getting help from this beast of burden, this yak. But she's walked a path down from, and I think that she, you know, this didn't make her happy to walk away, to wrap it up. Yeah, she's got her suitcase in her hand and her kind of walking stick and walking shoes. What's the burden? Is she sad about leaving? What's going on? And I only say she because it's a woman on the card. Somebody's leaving. Somebody misses them. Four of Cups. Well, another card of wrapping up a cycle. Of Eight of Swords, like, you know, almost like illusion, delusion. This character is looking in the mirror and sees herself trapped. In Rider-Waite, it shows a woman bound and blindfolded and surrounded by swords. in this case, again, the crows are trying to free her. They're nipping away at the things that bind her. The guides are saying, I'll help you get out of here. Listen to me. There's something off about the way you're thinking about yourself. And I'm going to refer to, because I have this, for some reason I keep this card on the table that is all about swords. 8 of Swords, illusion. 10 of Swords, end of the line, no more. She's walking away. And again with the crows. The guides are almost showing her the path out of this ensnared state. They unensnare her, and they're her guides. They're her higher power. It's an internal thing that she's doing, sort of consulting herself or seeing that she isn't really trapped. 8 of Swords has that flavor to it, that you think you're trapped. It's sword energy. And this is usually a painful cycle that's wrapping up. By virtue, in this case, of somebody walking away, walking free of this. Walking free of this. So something is wrapped up, but there is a new beginning here. And I'm actually getting a sense that if that soulmate card, 6 of Cups, speaks to sort of past life possibilities, someone you've known over time. There's something about leaping away from that for a new beginning. Like this time I'm starting out on a different path. That's what my guides tell me to do. Is that right? Let's clarify Hierophant, which can mean like taking something to the next level. And being guided toward joy, toward an ascension, or a descension, because it shows the stairway. This character, I think, this Hierophant, has walked back into the world. Joyfully. Seven of Swords. Another sword energy that it can be strategy. That's a fairly common interpretation. This guy is sneaking away. And again with the crows, which are sort of sounding an alarm. Crows talk to each other. They have a language. And this one's got their mouth wide open. Gosh, I wish that were lit better. But it's looking angry. And this guy, there are feathers floating in the air. There's a crow stuffed in his knapsack. There's a dagger in his hand. This guy's a no good neck. And that's on Hierophant. Totally don't get that, because the Hierophant looks joyful and this looks terrible. Again, it's that weird mix of happy and sad, potential and no potential. this is over. And then Ace of Pentacles? King of Pentacles? I mean, really, I don't understand. The other thing I had written down for Seven of Swords was insult to injury. Adding insult to injury. There's injury here. He's killed and bagged the birds. He's stuffed. You know, he's hooded. He's a sneaky crow. Well, it's a murder of crows? I don't know. That's too much of a pun, really, but... a murderer of crows. Tell us about the King of Pentacles, please. King of Swords. There's some negative sword energy on the board. 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords. No longer bound. Walking away from that. And this can be exiting a situation. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles. There's a match on the board, King and Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is the caretaker. You know, the one who shares his wealth. He takes people under his wing. He makes sure other people feel safe. He's grounded. He's authentic. He's marriage material. Hierophant can mean marriage. He'd be soulmate. I don't know why I'm saying material, but, you know, pentacles do speak to something that's physical and present. The material world. He shows up. They're both pictured with gray hair. But the King of Swords in this depiction, they should be communicative. King of Swords is about clarity and communication, also analysis that makes them a bit aloof. But in this card, the wires are down. There's a telegraph pole in the background, and the wires are down. You're not communicating. And I'm not sure he cares. The sword energy, 7 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 8 of Swords, none of them are positive energies. Why would the King of Swords, who's usually communicative and a truth teller, be not talking? And adding insult to injury, I don't get it. High Priestess. Sword energy is about knowledge and communication. This is a wholly different kind of knowledge, tapping into the intuition. And this is a card of somebody who doesn't talk about it. She's a seer. Her eyes are closed, but you can see her eyes through the eyelids. She like sees without having her eyes open. Her intuition, she picks up on the energies and understands in that way, not in a cerebral way. She has this massive energy of the crown chakra. I mean, she takes her knowledge from on high. Sorry, that means it's raining again. Temperance, the card of balance, of divine timing, of compassion. He's tattooed as well. It's not the same tattoo. I mean, what he's blending here in this sort of infinity loop is the sun and the moon, which is masculine and feminine energies being synthesized and blended. That's with High Priestess. Ten of Pentacles. That's like a happy ending. That's an environment where, everybody's cared for. I think it's the environment of this King of Pentacles. And I think the Queen of Pentacles matches with that energy. Stable, inclusive, an environment where people care for each other. And it's all about growth and authenticity. This is a card of deception. Of the sneak. So again, we have very good and, Ace of Swords. This is the new beginning, the sort of new idea, again, that comes from above. It's sort of directly into this person's brain. This understanding. As if this is sort of, again, references the communication from the ancestors, because it's spoken, it's kind of direct communication, almost like telepathic. Sorry, fumble. The new idea about this kind of environment. This is home. High Priest, sorry, High Priestess, Temperance. Time to go home. There's something she can see based on some kind of, this is what looks to be a man, but with these wings. Sort of like the angelic presence has somebody's back. It's a card of protection in that way. I think there's a good outcome. There's a lot of stinky energy on the board, including bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. Somebody up in their head, again, sad, worried. brought to their knees. And this flurry of crows above, which I didn't even see at first. I mean, they're just in a big mess up here. There's one white, kind of ghostly crow, which would make 10 of Swords. So we have the 8, 9, 10 of Swords. Which can mean going in the right direction. Well, apparently the right direction is away. End of the line, no more. And there's a liberation here. The crows aren't busy trying to disentangle her. They're not in a flap because she's in a flap. 9 of Swords. Trying to think something through. And this is sort of the answer. 9 of Swords can be the questions. What is this? Where am I? Am I approaching this place of walking away? And it's high anxiety. Am I 8 of Swords trapped? I'm up in my head about it, for sure. But ultimately, both she and the crows together, her guides guide her away and guide her new path. Her new path. Ace of Swords. It's like loud and clear now. She can hear it. And she can, feel it. With her insight, with her, these eyeballs that are closed on the outside but open kind of on the inside. And she's open to this kind of download from on high. It's a direct line, sorry. And so is this. It's the direct line. Whereas King of Swords, lines down. She has a direct line to the higher thing. Goes right into her head, through her crown chakra. Minor Arcana, Major Arcana, almost of the same energy. She has her eyes shut too. Something about that. And here there's one crow. And symbols of various kinds. They're mathematical symbols, and also kind of, there's an infinity symbol, a symbol that looks like a version of the symbol for woman. The circle with the kind of cross beneath it. She's deep in thought, but it's not a cerebral thought. It's information coming to her from on high. I just keep getting that, from on high. And the crow in flight here. I don't know if it's visible to you. And it may not be visible to her with her, everyday eyeballs. She sees something that's not visible to other people. She reads the energies. And this one has her eyes shut too. Queen of Pentacles. She looks very peaceful. In fact, they all do. All the feminines look very peaceful and tapped in. And I think King of Swords can be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Not tapped in. The lines are down. And I'm getting the sense that, like, that's okay by him. You know, he's not coming down from the mountain, from the icy cold heights to speak a truth. And I think the choice, Two of Swords, which is here somewhere. Yeah. The choice, Two of Swords, is between this incommunicative king who could talk but doesn't care to, and somebody that she matches with, who's the present authentic person, with whom she could have 10 of Pentacles. Whereas with this King of Swords, she has 10 of Swords. And I think there's an opportunity here, Ace of Pentacles, there's a seed for this cooperative energy. That somehow they can work together. There's a key here. It's a little bit Alice in Wonderland. A key to the door. Right there. She could get in. But she's getting away instead. And choosing to go forward to this real life place where she belongs authentically. She's Queen of Pentacles. She belongs with this fellow. And for some reason now I can't find her on the board, which is a little bizarre. There she is, right in front of me. Face to face, these guys would be over time. Pentacles, investing in each other, in building this environment, you know, between them, where they can live and age together. She's leaving behind all this sword business. She's choosing life, basically. She's choosing life with the living man, with the one who matches her. And I don't think it's an easy choice. There's a lot of cards of extricating yourself. 8 of Swords. 10 of Wands. The walking away from this insult to injury. That's the choice, I think. Do I stay? Do I choose life? Do I choose the real thing? The one that can grow. And we get this message all the time. that it's a pretty clear choice. Not an easy choice. I think we leave it there. And for some reason it makes me sad. I mean, I'm sort of like this. You know, a bit sad. About what might have been. Yeah. So there's a bittersweet quality to it, you know? But if you end up in 10 of Pentacles with your match, not with this sneaky exiting impulse to injury King of Swords, you know, it seems to me the choice is clear. And there's a lot of cards, there are a lot of cards of liberation here, of the guides freeing and disentangling this individual who's trying to decide. I think there's a wisdom and a higher power guidance that makes the decision clear. Not easy, but clear.